Today we are focusing on the inner thighs and more specifically how we can create length from the inner groin to the inner knee. So this whole area here, we're going to learn how to lengthen it and stretch it and feel it a little bit more. Today we're going to have just 2 blocks by your side, and then I'm going to have you start in a reclined position, reclined Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. So you have your body lying flat on your back. Bring the soles of your feet to touch and allow the knees to fall apart. Just allowing the body to soften into the mat and the hips to open in this passive position. As you breathe into your body, deepening the inhales and the exhales, can you allow the knees, the hips, the inner groins to soften? Feeling your shoulder blades pressing into the mat. Can you think of rolling the shoulders out and down so you gently hug the mat with your shoulders? Letting the breath flow, letting the hips open. You can start to place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and feel the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. Taking 3 more rounds of breath here. Make them deep, make them long, and make them full. Slowly open your eyes and then bring your arms over your head. Stretch the arms over the head, arms straight, fingernails on the floor. Think of reaching for something behind you as you lengthen the arms long, inner arms long. Allow the shoulders to wrap down towards the mat. As you stretch and lengthen the whole torso, the whole upper body, from the spine, from the base of the spine, all the way to the fingertips, can you stretch and lengthen the side waist even more? Good, release the arms. Now keep the arms where they are. Slowly close the knees and then stretch the legs straight out in front of you. We're going to go for that full stretch another time, except adding the legs. So stretch the arms back. Reach the fingertips towards the back of the room. Inner arms are long. Now flex your feet, curl the toes towards you, and push the thighs towards the floor. Kick the heels forwards, pull the fingertips back. Lengthen the side waist, full body stretch. Lengthen, hold. Good, and then release. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Here you can release the hips. Allow the hips to rest. Allow the lower back to be heavy on the mat. Happy baby. So your hands are inside your inner thighs. You catch the outsides of your feet and you kick the feet up towards the ceiling. Now can you flex the feet? So flex the feet, pull the toes down to the floor. And then now with your feet, think of kicking the feet up into your hands, and then with your hands, pull on the outer feet to pull the feet to the floor. And with this resistance you create, you feel a stretch, an opening in your hips. Let the lower back rest. Let the shoulders wrap into the mat. Breathing deeply. Bring the soles of your feet to touch in butterfly shape. Interlace your fingers over the outsides of your feet, and then slowly bring the heels towards your hips. As you bring the heels towards your hips, can you push the knees out? Bring the heels closer to your hips, closer towards the floor, and as you do that, push the knees out. So from here, you want to lengthen from the inner groin to the inner knee. The inner thighs are lengthening, inner thighs are stretching. Okay, knees to chest, release. Now come to happy baby again. Flex your feet. Now with a good grip on the outsides of your feet, hold it here. Can you kick your legs up towards the ceiling until your legs stay straight, or as straight as you can? So this time, can you lengthen from the inner groin to your inner knee, all the way to your inner heel? So lengthen the legs. Can you push the thighs forward to the front of the room? And if you're having trouble catching your feet, maybe you can hold your shins or your thighs, but wherever you can catch, I want you to feel the stretch in the inner thighs. Push the front thighs forward. Lengthen from the inner groin to the inner knee. Hold here. If you can, open a little bit more. Bend the knees, happy baby. Soles of the feet touch, butterfly shape. Bring the heels towards the floor, knees out wide. Good, and then knees into your chest, release. Slowly roll up into downward dog. So your hands are shoulder width apart, feet are also hip width apart, and you push the mat away as you lengthen the legs, lengthen the arms, and lengthen the spine. Bring your knees to the floor and sit in Baddha Konasana, butterfly shape. With the soles of your feet touching, hold on to the ankles and then pull on the ankles so much that you lift your chest. So as you lift your chest, can you think of lifting the lower back up away from the spine, away from the pelvis? Keeping that, hinge forward, bend the elbows. As you push the elbows towards the back of the room, allow the belly button to slide forward. So belly button slides over your toes. Chin looks forward, spine is straight. And you stop where you can maintain a straight spine. So we don't want the spine to round or slouch like this. We want the length. And once you create this length, the inner thighs start to lengthen more. When the lower back or when the upper body starts to round, we don't feel as much in the inner thighs. So can you lengthen the spine as much as you can? Lengthen the spine, first priority, keep that straight. Then once you have that, can you hinge forward any amount? Any amount, push the elbows back. Inner thighs lengthen from the inner groin to your inner knee. Very good, come back up. Hands come underneath your knees. Close the knees to touch and then tuck your chin to your chest, forehead to your knees. Allow the shoulders to soften. Let the hips release. Slowly come back into butterfly shape. Second round, we're going to do some traction. So this involves lengthening the whole body from the trunk all the way to the hips. I'm going to take your blocks and you're going to place your blocks. Let's go like a train track. So the soles of the toes will curl out like a book, but my heels are still touching. So you see how it's almost like a little V shape with my toes here. Now the block is going to come into that V slot, and then if you can, place a second block in front of that. So like a train track. If you are a little bit tighter in the hips, just go with one. If you're more open, go with two. Okay, from here, wherever the end of your block is, hold that and lift the spine. Think of pushing the sit bones down into the floor and back towards the back of your room. Now, can you hinge forward? Keep walking the fingertips forward, arms straight. So you really feel a deep stretch in the inner thighs, inner groins. Can you keep the arms straight, spine extended, and look forward? So don't look at your toes, look front. Look forward away from you. And then can you crawl the fingertips even further? Slide the body over the blocks. Lengthen the lower back and slide the whole front of your body, whole chest, belly over the blocks. Keep reaching. Fingertips crawl forward, sides of the body long. Come back to center. Very nice. Hands underneath your knees, close the hips, knees into your chest. Come back up. Now this time we're going to bring the legs into a V shape. So if you're not already sitting on the long end of your mat, go ahead and flip your direction. We're going to have the hips at one end of your mat, and then the heels are going to touch the other end of your mat. So you're in a V shape, kind of like me in this setup. Sitting up tall. Now, if your lower back is rounding and you're having trouble sitting up straight, take one of your blocks, place it underneath your hips, and then have a seat on that, and then come into this position. The block underneath your hips is going to help you lengthen the lower back and to keep the spine straight. What we want first, as first priority, is to keep the lower back lengthened. Okay, now, sitting in your V shape, flex your feet, and make sure the inner edges of your feet are pointing up towards the ceiling, so they're parallel. We don't want this not engaged over here. We want to really lengthen the inner edges of the feet long. Keep that. Bend the right knee and place the sole of the right foot against your inner left thigh. Clear the front of your setup. We're going to fold forward. From here, can you press the fingertips into the mat to lengthen the spine? Keep the left foot flexed. Inhale, arms over your head, hold. Lengthen the side body long. So just like the full body stretch just now, can you lengthen the side body long? Hold here. Now hinge forward from your hips. Upper arms stay behind the ears. As much as you can, hinge forward. Slide the belly button forward. Firm the shoulder blades into your upper back. Stay. Keeping this, hands to the floor. Crawl the fingertips forward, but keep the spine lengthened. Push the sit bones back as you crawl the fingertips forward. Arms are straight. Lengthen from the inner left groin to the inner left knee. So this whole part of your inner thigh is lengthening as you bow forward. Crawl the fingertips an inch more. Lengthen the spine. Slowly come back to center. Both arms reach up. Inhale, lengthen, sitting up tall. Exhale, turn and twist towards your left. So adding a little bit of a twist. Can you roll the right shoulder forward, left shoulder turns back, but keep the upper arms behind the ears. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. So you bow your whole body over your left leg. Can you push the left thigh towards the floor and reach the fingertips over your left toes? Fingertips over the left toes. Hold it here. Hinge more, spine is straight. Good. Now release the right hand to your left outer foot. Catch if you can. If you can't, just hold the ankle or the shin. Now, left hand on the floor beside you. Push your left hand into the mat to lift your spine tall as you turn and twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine first. Exhale, turn and twist. Now once you have this twist and it's still okay for you, bend the elbows. Bend both elbows as you slide your body, folding your body over the left leg. Keep the left foot flexed. Slide your body over the left leg and then bow forward. Belly button slides over your left thigh. Forehead touches the left shin. Forehead touches the left shin. Forehead touches the left shin. Hold here. Very good. Slowly come back up. Both arms reach up, lengthen. And then release. Other side. Right leg stretches forward. Flex the right foot. Make sure the inner edges of the feet don't collapse. Now bend the left knee. Sole of the left foot against your right inner thigh. Sitting tall on your sit bones. So you might have to push up and then make sure you're sitting on top of your sit bones. Right foot flexed. Inhale, reach up. We hinge forward first. Hinge forward. Lengthen the spine. Upper arms behind the ears. Fingertips reach as far as you can. Now hands touch the floor. Keeping the spine straight, can you walk the fingertips forward any amount? Bow forward any amount. Look forward, look at your fingertips and watch them as they crawl forward. Crawl the fingertips forward. Can you lengthen from the inner right groin to the inner right knee? So this whole part of your thigh, lengthening as you fold forward. Fold forward, fold forward. Good. Slowly come back to center. Both arms reach up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn towards your right. So turn towards your right. Can you firm the right thigh towards the floor? Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Fold over the right leg. Firm the right thigh into the mat as you reach the fingertips forward. Fingertips reach over your right toes. Over the right toes. Good. Now left hand catch the right outer foot. Right hand on the floor beside you. Push into the mat to lift. And then twist deeper. So the spine is rotating towards the right side. Can you roll the right side of your abdomen more towards the right? Very good. So you lengthen the left side body. Hold this twist. You can stay or you can bend your elbows. As you send the belly button over your right thigh, think of reaching the forehead to your right shin. Forehead touches the shin. Forehead touches your shin bone. Very nice. Hold it here. Can you go a little bit deeper? Lengthen the spine. Allow the spine to drape over your right leg. Good. Slowly coming back up. Both arms reach up. And then release. Both feet into butterfly. Hands on your ankles. Lift the spine tall. Exhale, hinge forward, fold forward. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Slide the body forward. Hands come underneath your knees, close the knees, chin to your chest, forehead to your knee. Good, slowly release. Okay, now we're going to do Upavishta. So the feet are going to be in a V shape. You're going to take your two blocks with the feet out wide. Flex both feet. So lengthen the inner edges of the feet long. We don't want the collapsing. We want the inner edges of the feet lengthened, so that this means from the inner groin to the inner knee to the inner heel. All of this is lengthening and the muscles are engaged. Now, sitting up tall, if you have a block underneath your hip, you can keep that there. We're going to send the blocks into a train track out in front of you here. Okay, keeping the blocks like stacked in front of you. Inhale, arms come over your head. In this position, can you keep the thighs firming into the mat, but allow the upper arms to go behind the ears? Upper arms stay behind the ears. The sides of your body are long, but the rib cage comes in. From the side, your whole body is in one straight line. Inhale, lengthen tall. Exhale, hinge forward just a little bit. Hinge forward any amount. The first thing to touch the blocks is your belly button. Belly button touches the block first. Before anything, belly button touches the block. Stay wherever you can maintain the straight spine, straight arms, straight legs. Reach forward, fingertips forward, lengthen the whole spine, sideways long, inner thighs lengthening, feet active. Hold here, upper arms back. Reach forward, reach forward. Good. Now hands catch the outer edges of the feet. And then can you pull on the feet and slide the whole body forward over the blocks? Belly button touches the blocks first. Slide the belly button over the blocks. Look forward, chin forward. Lengthen from the inner groin to the inner knee to the inner heel. Looking forward. Slide the body. Breathing well, breathing deep. Come down more. Come down more. Come down more. Very nice. Slowly release. Both arms reach up. Lengthen. Exhale, release the arms. Good. Hands underneath your knees. Bend your knees. Remove the blocks. Come into butterfly shape, Baddha Konasana. Hands to your ankles. Lift the chest. Exhale, hinge. Hands behind your knees. Close the knees. Chin to chest. Forehead to your knee. Clear the blocks. Come into your downward dog. Walk the legs out. Let the hips release. Coming back to neutral for a little bit. Now bring your feet mat width apart. So you're facing the long edge of your mat, the short edge of your mat. Allow the feet to be mat width apart. Now walk the hands back to your feet. Forward fold with the legs wider. Allow the upper body to drape down. Let the upper body hang. Hold opposite elbows. And then with the legs straight, can you shift your weight into your toes? Shift the weight into your toes, but keep the thighs pushing back. Breathing well, breathing deep. Slowly come back up, articulating through your spine. Legs are heavy, legs are strong. Arms over your head, lift up. And then release. Okay, standing forward fold, Prasarita. So we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat again. Have the feet wide. So feet are wide, 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 wide. The heels, make sure the heels are in one line and the toes turn in, heels turn out. Now the outer edges of the feet are heavy into the mat. Ground them down. Place the hands on your hips. Lengthen the spine tall. And then hands on the hips here. Push the hips back. As you push the hips back, can you push the front thighs towards the back of your room? But shift your weight into your toes. So there's this resistance that we're trying to fight, this like balance. The thighs want to push back, but the weight wants to stay forward. Forward and hinge as much as you can. Can you maintain the straight spine? Think of sending the collarbones forward, chin forward, chest open. Once your back is flat, stay. Hold here. Keeping your back flat, spine is lengthened, spine is straight. Can you send your arms over your ears, parallel? Reach the arms forward, weight forward into your toes, upper arms above the ears. Upper arms above the ears, hold here. Good, now release the hands to the floor. Release. Allow the outsides of your feet to ground heavy into the mat. Then from here, bend the elbows and send the forehead to the floor. Send the forehead to the floor. Sit bones up towards the ceiling. You can stay with the hands on the floor or catch your ankles and pull the ankles as you send your body down to the floor. Forehead touches the floor in front of you. Again, push the front thighs back, but shift the weight forward into your toes. Allow there to be space between the top shoulders and the ears. So can you pull the shoulders down, but send the forehead forward. Breathing deep. Can you allow the forehead to release? Slowly come back up. Place your hands on your hips. Good. And then step the feet together. Okay, coming to the mat. Lie down flat on your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Can rock side to side, releasing the lower back. Allowing the hips to come back into neutral. Bring the arms into cactus shape. So cactus shape is where the arms are at a 90-degree angle. Hold here. Now pull the knees in towards your chest so the pelvis lifts off the floor slightly. Lower your knees towards the right. Try to touch the right elbow, but try not to let the left elbow lift. Left elbow stays heavy on the mat. Come back to center. Knees over to your left. Right elbow stays heavy on the mat. Allow the spine to twist. Let the hips return back into a neutral position. Come back to center. Pull the knees in, right side again. Back to center. Pull the knees in, left side. Come back to center, knees into your chest, hug your knees into your chest. Now keep this, tuck your chin into your chest, lift your forehead off the floor. Forehead touch the knees. So you round yourself into a small ball. And then slowly release for your Shavasana. Allow the hips to release. Let the legs be wide, arms by your side, and then slowly, gently closing your eyes. Allowing the breath to be long and the breath to be deep. Sending the breath through the spine, beyond the crown of your head, and then all the way down, past your spine, past the legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. Let the body weight melt into the mat. So no gripping, no clenching, just fully releasing and being where you are. Starting to bring movement into your fingertips, into your toes. Bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Roll on to the right side of your mat. And then when you are ready, slowly press yourself back up into a comfortable seat. Bring the hands to heart center. With a soft inhale to the top of your chest. Exhale by your forehead to your heart. Thank you again for sharing your practice and your energy with me. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today on the mat for inner thighs, and I hope to see you in my next video.